Okay, I'll be honest. There's not a lot of time for a big intro for this one. This one's gonna be long. This is gonna be a big one. I'm gonna try to not have this be so long, but this is probably going to be long. So I need people to just deal with this for me, because I don't know why I decided to do this in this way. But I could not help myself. And now here we are. So real quick, we're just gonna plop all of these up here. Very nice. Okay. I think that's basically it. Okay. So that's good news. So yeah. I made an absolute decision. I have not shaved, by the way, in like a while. I've not shaved in almost a month. I need to shave. Jess wants me to grow out a full beard. So I'm trying, but I might have to trim everything because this is not coming in fast enough. And I just, anyway, that's besides the point. I can't be delaying more. There's so much shit to go into today. There's literally so much Mario Party to talk about. It's gonna be nuts. So yeah, we are ranking all of Super Mario Party and Mario Party Superstars today. Why did I decide to do this on both in one stream instead of having their own like most of the other ones? Very simple. My thought process was Super only has 4 boards. They're pretty light overall. And Superstars is just a bunch of remakes. So it's mostly just going to be comparing how they did to the old one. Yes, I know I got to get my hair dyed, sweetie. You're watching me from the chair. Say hi to Ty for me. Hi, Ty. You can see my hair. I know. I'm going to get it done again. Soon. Don't worry. Okay, just relax, okay? I'm going to try to do this quickly today. I don't know how fast this is going to be. I'm gonna get absolutely insulted for my hair. Oh hey Brittany. But at the very least, Ty, I want Ty to see. Look at my Lilo and Stitch shirt. Isn't it lovely? There you go. Something good to see. Okay, so right off the bat, there's one thing I need to address immediately about Super. Okay, you'll notice on this tier list, we also have these boards right here. I'm just putting them in this tier for a second just so it's clear what these are, okay? These boards right here are not single player maps, or they're not like the standard Mario Party maps. You'll notice that they are just like the same maps with different names. This is for the other, like the tag team mode in Super Mario Party, which is derived from some of the 3DS games. In my opinion, they actually work better than the main boards of this game overall, but I am not going to rank them because there's no like board kind of thing in this. There's no like every tile is a space in those, and it's just there's no board design. They're just shapes. It's very weird. I shouldn't say there isn't board design. There's board design, but it's very different. It's a very different way of playing Mario Party. We're not touching that with a 10-foot pole. It's not Mario Party enough to rank. It is good though. Out of all the Mario Party games to not rank, it is the best one. It's just too odd for me to like break down with my expertise. We're not gonna touch that. That's enough of that. That's really all I can say about that, is that there's just not enough. There's just not enough to talk about with it, unfortunately. But that's fine, because we have enough other shit to talk about today. So, I'm just going to quickly change the theme that we're listening to here to this one, actually, instead. There you go. So, Super Mario Party is, you need to know right off the bat that I have a lot of respect for Super Mario Party coming out at all, because like after Mario Party 8 came out, 9, 10, and all the 3DS games that came after it were bad. There's no discussion on this. They are bad games. I shouldn't say that. They're bad Mario Party games. They aren't Mario Party most of the time. A lot of those games like 9, 10, Island Tour, you know, all these other ones, Star Rush, a lot of them do have like really good mini games and a lot of good like ideas, but they aren't Mario Party as we know like Mario Party up to this point, which is again why they're not in the tier list at all. That's why we're not even touching that shit, because it's just not worth it. So when Super came out, this was like our first 10's not as terrible as 9. That's only because you like the Bowser mode, Brittany. That is the only reason. Although I am inclined to give you that because the Bowser mode can be fun. It's broken and it is not fair in the slightest. But it is fun on occasion, so I will give you that. So if I do Mario Party 8 release, so the release date for Mario Party 8 was May 29th, 2007. Okay? May 29th, 2007. Super Mario Party was October 5th, 2018. It was an 11-year gap between like normal ass Mario Party releases. I don't need to tell you that's a long time. That's like almost like Pikmin game like distance. That's the distance between Mario Kart 8's release originally and Mario Kart World's release next week. Like this, like that's a huge amount of time to like. We all thought Mario Party was dead. We didn't think we were getting Mario Party again. Then Super came out and we were like, oh my god, Mario Party's back. Fuck yeah. And since then, we've gotten 2 other Mario Party games in the same style. We've had Superstars, which is a grand return, you know, a smorgasbord of mini games and boards from past games. And then finally, recently, we have Jamboree, which is the first like brand new Mario Party in the modern era outside of Super. So there's a lot of respect to be had. A lot of respect you can have for Super for when it came out, what it's done for the series up to this date, and I appreciate it for that. I'm saying that because Super Mario Party sucks. I'm saying that very specifically now because I do not like Super Mario Party very much at all. That is for good reason. There are good things about it, but I don't like Super Mario Party much at all. And honestly, it really comes down to their boards and the game design working around them. The mini games are fucking great. The game looks great. There are some aspects that I do like that are carried into future games, but Super fucking sucks. It's just not fun to play. Oh my god. So I'm not going to delay too much more into it now. Like, again, this is going to be a very long one, so I just want to get started. So let's jump into why Super, out of all things, is so bad. Okay? So let's look at Womp's Sorry, I always say Dominion when I read this. Womp's Domino Ruins. Okay? This is our first board of Super Mario Party. Fits kind of the jungle aesthetic. It's like deep in a jungle, there's ruins. It's like we've seen stuff like this before, but it's, you know, a little nice twist on the theming. I will say that Super Mario Party doesn't really have a theme at all, which isn't too weird for other Mario Parties, but it is very apparent with this one that there is like no theme. And we're gonna get into some of the differences of what makes this Mario Party its own can of worms all on its own first, okay? So number one, you'll notice these boards, this board is very small, okay? And all the boards in this game are very small. Not only that, There's not a lot of them. There's only 4 boards. The shortest amount of boards in the series. Fucking DS has 1 more board than this game does. And you only start the game with 3. You have to unlock the 4th. So it's so weird to have so little right off the bat. But like, if there's quality there, I don't mind less if there's good quality. Spoiler, there's not good quality, but we'll see how bad it gets. Now, key thing about Super Mario Party to realize, okay? So we are back, like, it is the same standard game that you expect of Mario Party that we've seen, like, in every other Mario Party so far up to this date. However, some tweaks have been made to this. Number 1, we have, our dice rolls are only up to 6 now. You can only roll up to 6 on your normal dice. However, every character has a character-specific dice as well. And those specific dice are evil. Those specific dice are evil, okay? I want to see if they have... I want to see if they do have them listed here. Super Mario Party. Yeah, and by the way, they have a tier list. They have... these blocks have a tier list. That's how good these things are. Maybe if I just do Super Mario Party, yeah, let's just search up Super Mario Party. I'm sure they list them with all the characters. Here are all our characters, yada yada yada. Okay, here we go. So we got all the dice here, okay? So everyone gets a normal dice. Very straightforward, right? And it rolls 1 to 6. Everyone else, though, also gets a bonus dice to work with. This is the most tier-heavy Mario Party game, period. And it's insane. It's actually insane. Don't worry about this one. That one only counts for a board. We'll get to that one. But yeah, I can't go into the intricacies of like what makes each of these characters like good or bad based on their dice rolls. I can give you the best one. Yeah, this is why, Fox. Like, you have to, like, they're so, you have no idea how many, like, what my list of shit is on this page here. Like, I have there's a lot here to go into. And I couldn't do it last week because that was my jury. Or not my jury, my recital. So I really wanted to do the multiplayer test and I couldn't. That's why. But regardless, every character has a specific dice. Some are good, some are bad. If you really want to get pedantic about it, if you really want the best ones, Wario is your number 1. You want to play as Wario. He's just outright the best. Daisy's the right up there as well. And then you also have characters like DK and Bowser, which are very high rewards. Or high risk, high reward, but the high reward is so good that it's just worth going for anyway. Oh, it's a weekly event now? Fuck yeah, cool. Then hopefully I can make it next weekend. Boo's also really good. Boo's insanely good. Some characters just have it bad. Dry Bones also really good. Hammer Bro, pretty decent, right? Then you get people like, honestly, Mario's is just like kind of like, it's fine. Luigi's is kind of shitty. It's so funny to see like a tier list in this way. You have to pick your characters correctly. It's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. But I'm not gonna factor that too much into like the boards. I mean, you kind of have to, and you kind of can't. It's regardless, everyone has either up to 6 or their special character dice. So movement is a little weird in this game. Not only that, the main gimmick of this game are these new spaces that you find on the boards here. These are I don't remember what they're called, friendship spaces or some shit. It's something like that, some friendship bullshit space, friend space maybe. And what the friend spaces do, I'm seeing if they do pop up on here so I can at least get the name right. Ally space. They are ally spaces. That's what it is. So ally spaces, if you land on them, you get access to one of the other characters not being currently played in the game, and they will join you on your in the game. This does 2 things for you. Okay, number 1, it gives you access to that character's special dice block to use as well. Pretty nice bonus. If that was it, that would be fine. I believe allies could also help in certain mini games, but we're not going to worry about the mini game side of things. It's fine. What matters more, though, is every ally that you have, and you can have up to 4, when you roll your dice, they will also roll a dice of 1 or 2. So you can get, if you have 4 partners with you, which isn't that hard to get on certain boards, you can roll minimum a 4, maximum an 8, plus your roll every turn. On boards that are designed to be rolled with just up to 6 normally, that's insane. That's fucking so bad. That is so fucking stupid. Oh my god, is that broken to the nth degree. Your goal, if you want any advice, if you're going to play Super Mario Party, which I don't know why you would, but if you want to play it, here is my advice. Land on these spaces. Gun for those. Don't give a shit about anything else. Because once you have friends, movement is not a fucking problem. Your goal is those spaces. And because these boards are small, it's not too hard to farm them. And you'll see that immediately on this board. Now, there are a couple other new spaces as well. We also have these, like, we have unlucky spaces now. Just a bad event can happen. It's nothing too crazy. It's like a very baby version of Bowser, and that's kind of it. In the final, like, few turns, they become very bad luck spaces, and they treat that more like Bowser spaces. But otherwise, there's no Bowser space in this game. So there's not a whole lot of bad events that, like, come out of this. It's very rare for something to, like, drastically happen, especially in the last 5 turns. Even ones that are clumped together with low rolls, by the time you, like, are, like, in the late game, people have partners, and they're actually not going to areas with lots of those anyway, or they're rolling past them, so it's not a big deal. Plus, there are still items to help you get past things. Battle games are still in this game, but they are reduced to a space now, the versus space. This is something that's been carried over into modern Mario parties like Superstars and Jamboree as well. I hate this a little bit, only because like, it's like that in 3, which is fine. I like it in 3. The reason I don't like it here is because you barely bet any money, and that's lame as hell. Where's my 50 coin battle games? Where's my 50 coin battle games? I want stakes, baby. Give me stakes. These things suck. This one in particular, in this game, there's not even a battle mini game. It's like a... I hesitate to call it a mini game. It's more an event where everyone just, like, shows up, and it's just, like, the first person to react to, like, a button press in, like, 2 different scenarios will, like, get the money. And that's basically it. It's really lame. It really sucks. It's boring space. It's the worst. It's the worst version of battle spaces we've ever had. Moving on from that. That's basically it for that. Other than that, like unlucky spaces, we also have lucky spaces, which are way more powerful. And those are also in the newer games as well. Lucky spaces can do things from giving you items and giving you coins. They can be pretty busted, and they place them usually in pretty, like, they're fairly frequent. They're not too bad. There's not as much on this board, but I find Superstars, when we look at that one, they have a lot of lucky spaces. You see a lot of lucky spaces in that game. So we'll jump more into that when we get to Superstars specifically. But that's basically all the main mechanics of the game. There are, like, a few other things, like Wiggler is our shop spaces now, and sometimes the Wiggler shops are different, but there's no way to distinguish them apart, so you can't really tell that they're different until you actually go and see the shop. Do I remember what each of the shops in this are? I'm gonna be honest, no, it doesn't matter anyway. Just trust me, it's not gonna matter. So just know that both the shops, we got one here, we got one here, pretty straightforward. Lakitu is here now, and he's actually our Boo replacement, because you play as Boo now. I don't know why it's Lakitu. They immediately changed this in the other games to go back to Boo. I find it very weird that it's Lakitu of anything. But he can steal coins and he can steal stars. And it is ridiculously cheap in this game. It is very cheap to steal stars. If I remember correctly, I think it's like 20 coins. It's insane how little it is. Wanted to see if it might like say. But I don't know. Oh, here. Oh, 30 coins. It is 30 coins, but again, coins are not a hard thing to come by in this game because stars only cost 10. That's another major difference in this game is stars only cost 10 coins, so it's not a lot. The only other event that can pop up is Koopa Paratroopa, which you see right here on this board. And he can just send a player to a rival space for a set amount of coins. Nothing too crazy. He's basically the fly guy from Wario's board back in the original game. Now, outside of that, there are items to kind of go over. Yo, Kana, good afternoon. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well today. I'm trying to get more of a view of... Oh, right. It's because I have that. This will be better. Okay, here we go. So, the items in this game, for being a game that's very, like, small, like, in size on boards and everything, and even the turn limits, because this is the first Mario Party game where the turn limit max of any game is 20. You can only do 20. Oh, that's so adorable. That's so cute, Kana. Good for you. Happy birthday to the doggo. There is an exception to that rule, and we're gonna fucking get to that. We're gonna fucking get to it. But it's not, just know that 20 turns is like the max amount of time you're gonna play. Which is kind of, that's so bizarre. Where's my 50 turn games? My 50 turn games have been dead ever since. Although, with more modern Mario Party now, 30 turns feels like 50, so 30 is probably better off. We're probably better off with 30, although I miss my 50s. But the item list in this game is bonkers. It's bonkers. This shit is nuts, okay? So, you have a lot of, like, standards. You got, like, you know. Oh, hell yeah. Get her those treats, get her a pup cup. Hell yeah, she'll love it. Movement shit. We got normal. We got mushrooms, add 3. We got poison mushroom, -2 to roll. These are actually new to this game. Actually, they might be in some of the 3DS games. We don't care about those. Those suck. But these two actually are, this one at the very least, the dash mushrooms becomes a staple for, items going forward, so we're gonna see that in the other games. The poison and the dash don't make an appearance, but that's okay because this would be busted in a modern Mario Party game. Actually, the dash actually becomes the normal mushroom in modern games. It adds 5 normally. In this game, it's add 3. This would be busted in this game. This is busted in this game in particular. Regardless. Golden drink, getting 1 coin each time you move. Ah, that's kind of nice actually. It's very similar to like Peach's of like special capsule from Mario Party 7 with the flower thing. Very similar to that. It's only 1 coin each time, but again, everything's cheap in this game, so it doesn't matter. That's a key thing to remember there. Golden pipe is back, gets you to the star. Incredibly cheap in this game, keep that in mind. Coinado steals 5 to 10 coins from a rival. This costs like the same amount to buy, so it's not really worth it unless you just want somebody else to have less money, but it's just like you could buy better stuff. This though, this fucking item is the best thing ever. The ally phone gives you an ally just on the spot. If you get this, fuck you if you get this. It's insane if you get this. Use it right away. You do not wait. Doesn't matter what else you were planning. in your game at the time. If you get this item, you use it instantly. Okay? Custom dice block. Only 1 to 6 in this game because that's how it works. Peepa Bell. It's like a Boo Bell, except it's a Peepa, and it only takes 1 coin from a rival every time they move. It is the golden drink, but it's an attack item. Neat that they have both. It doesn't do a whole lot. If you get it for free, then use it. Don't buy it. Fly Guy ticket is basically your plunder chest. Can be very helpful for a lot of specific items in this game, like warp pipes, ally phone if somebody hasn't used it yet. Fucking some other ones that are coming up. It's like definitely worth having around. Warp box is new, and it's very interesting. So it's normally in other Mario Party games you have the warp box, and it switches the placement of the people who use it. In this game, they change it so that you just go to the other person's spot. And that's it. They don't get swapped back to your place. That I don't like that on its own. I do like the nature of the swapping both characters. However, that is fixed in Jamboree. We'll get to that when we get to that. But nice to know that this function is used better in another game. Now, the last 3 items, or main items at least. The hidden block card, pretty straightforward. You use that, a hidden block spawns, you get coins or you get a star. You're not going to buy this probably, because you probably just want to buy a fucking gold pipe just to ensure you get the star. But if you get one of these, hey, here's hoping you're lucky. Dueling glove, dual person. That's it. You get to duel for coins. You can't duel for stars. I don't think you can duel for stars. I need to double check now. I think it's just coins. Where's your allies in one of 3 minigames? It doesn't say what you get for it. That's odd. Why does it not? I believe it's just coins. I believe they ruined dueling from this point on. Dueling is mean from this point on. It's not fair. They only do coins. They kind of fixed it in Jamboree, but we'll get to Jamboree's another day, so don't worry about that for now. And then finally, the double card, which is actually pretty sick. I like this item a lot. Allows you to buy more than 1 star at a star space, and you can only use it when you get to a star space. That's pretty fucking cool. In this game, broken as hell because stars are so fucking cheap. But that is a great concept. It takes the buy multiple stars gimmick from like other boards that we've talked about before and adds that to as a mechanic to like any board potentially. And I really like that. I think that's really cool. Every game should have that, I think. I think it should be like a rare. It should be a rare item, but it's very cool. All right, one last thing. We have these special board exclusive items. There's not much to say about these. All you need to know is that when you get these items, they basically mean you get a free star. That's all it really means. You might not always get a star. Sometimes you get coins instead, but like these are used to like get an additional like secret star on the board. Every board has their own. We'll point them out as we get to them. The only one that doesn't is, I believe, the capsule ticket, which just changes the price of the star on that board. We'll get to that when we get to that. Ooh. Okay, that's about everything that makes this game. Okay. Now, all that being said, how does it work? Do these boards work with these rules? Have you not been listening to me? No, they don't. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's so fucking lame. The problem with this game is that everything is too cheap. Everything is way too cheap to buy. Everyone moves either very, very slow or way too fucking fast. There is no in between. You are either constantly rolling low numbers or you are constantly rolling high numbers because you have so many friends. That is it. And if you are rolling low, you are not winning. If you're rolling high, you are winning. It's so fucking lame. It is very, 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 very lame. But it is what it is, and that's it. That's basically all there is to it. I hate it, but there's not much that you can do about it. But can we still have some fun on these boards? I think you can a little bit. The mini games are still worth it. So I think this game is still worth playing. It's not like the 3DS games or Mario Party 9 or 10. This is a better Mario Party game than those, but it's just like, this is definitely a weak showcase for a Mario Party game compared to everything else. But when it came out, it was very refreshing to have this come back. So again, I respect it, but let's go into why this sucks. So, Womp's Domino Ruin is probably the most straightforward and therefore probably one of the nicer boards in the game for that reason. The main gimmick of this board is that travel can be very hard, okay? So, right away we have there's a couple happenings, but they're very straightforward for the most part. The set right here, activate just this Womp, and anytime you land on it, the Womp is just gonna move to one of the two areas, and to get past them, you just have to pay a set of coins to do it. Just like previous Mario Party games, we've seen this kind of gimmick before. Nothing new. It happens here, and it happens here. It doesn't affect anything too greatly, but it is there regardless. Now, this happening space is one of the board exclusive item events that I was referring to. This is where you can decide to open one of the chests. You'll either get coins, you might get a star. It's basically all it works out to. Again, fairly straightforward. That's how it works though, okay? And finally, the last event is any of the event spaces up here. And those event spaces will trigger a domino ball to come rolling down, and it will bring everyone back down here. That's basically it. So the issue with this board, and at least with its events, is twofold. One, the chest and the Womp events just aren't that exciting, and most people aren't really going for them unless they just like happen to land on them. Because yeah, what are we going for in this game? That's right, we want to make friends. Friends is the key. We love friends. We're gonna make friends today. So for us on this board, these events aren't gonna do much, but the ones up here, this is where things could be a bit of a problem. Because you're constantly resetting here, because dice rolls are typically like really low unless you A, have items or a character who gets lucky with a high dice roll. People get stuck on this all the time, and if there are multiple people on here trying to get like to the next area, and somebody lands on one of the spots, everyone goes back. So it's kind of like the beginning of Spaceland from Mario Party 2, except there are more happenings given the amount of spaces, and everyone rolls smaller numbers, so they're more likely to land on them. That's problem A. Problem B is that this space on the path is also an ally space. So sometimes people will actively decide to go away that will force them to land on one of these to give them another chance of landing on the ally space. Again, that's like, you want ally spaces so bad, and the fact that you have two different paths depending on your roll to try to land on it is bonkers. Not to mention, right at the beginning, if you pay the Womp here, there's one right here, and you can, if you don't mind paying it, you can just go in this loop over and over again and just really spam allies until you feel good enough to just dominate the rest of the board. It's actually insane. It's actually bonkers. Now, once you get past that, the top of this area I actually really like. You have like, because the dice rolls are low, you do have the risk of potentially going either down this way or this way. And the reason that's important is because if you dip out early, you'll be safe and you'll be able to travel to the next part of the board. But if you want to risk your rolls and are able to do it, then going down the left side path will bring you to Lakitu, which is your boo. And again, for only 30 coins, being able to steal star, it's usually worth it. But low rolls are dangerous. It's risky. It's really risky. But if you want it, that's your best chance. That top path is like the most strategy that you're probably going to get on this board outside of the regular give me these. I also realized now while playing that I did not change the music to the Womp board. This is the Womp board music, by the way. Pretty fine tune. I like this tune. It's not a very elaborate song. It's very short. It's only like 30 seconds long, but you know, it's fine. It gets the theme across. It really is just mostly percussion. Oh my god, it really just is percussion. It doesn't have anything else? No, there you go. Okay, I was gonna say, it's gotta have something else. I found the other version. I was like, there's gotta be more to that. There's no way. There's no way I would have remembered that like that. Now, once you get past this section, you have 2 ways to go. Also, another friend space. That's the other reason why going this way actually might be better sometimes, because, again, allies are so good. So even if you do end up this way, you might just get an ally, so, you know, it all works out. Okay. Going this path just brings you back into a loop. A loop for another ally space. So, might be worth it just for that, even with the unlucky pieces. But, at the same time, stars can spawn in here. So, might be worth going in there if the star is in there, obviously. But if you also know you're going to land on this, then it might be worth it. And by if, I mean it will be. Otherwise, going this path, I'll be honest. I'm going to be 100% honest, guys. This upper path is fucking useless. Don't take it. Do not take this path. Why don't take this path? Well, this path is only 1 space longer. They both converge into the ally space. And this is mostly red and blues. And then you do have an item space, but you have 2 lucky spaces and a wiggler shop right here. Why does this way exist? I have no idea why that way exists. I don't know why this needs something in here to be attracting. You need to be able to attract players, and that way just doesn't attract players. I don't understand why this section of the board even exists in the way that it does. There's nothing incentivizing you going here unless a star spawns here. That is the only reason. And if that's the only draw to an area, that's bad. That's bad design. That's bad design. If a star spawns there, people are fucking pissed because they'd rather go any other way. The only reason we go this way for the stars is because you need them to win. That's it. Sucks. Absolutely sucks. And again, if at the very least, if this was here and if these two were flipped, then we'd be talking. Then this would have more of a purpose. Then I would be like, okay, there's a valid strategy to picking either way. Do you give up the item do you give up the chance to getting 2 items in the next couple turns? Potentially 3 if you land on a lucky space and get an item there. Or 4 getting, another ally, which can be absolutely busted. Both of those would be really good. That would actually be a really smart way to doing it. They're not smart though, so they didn't do that. And then other than that, that just brings you right back to the start. And that's it for Womp. That is it for Womp. Now, given all that, the board's fine. It's a very whatever board, but it's not gonna blow your mind. Again, this game is not gonna blow your mind in general, but it's not the worst that this game has to offer. It really is just that's a board. They brought Mario Party back and went, here's a board. That's a board, all right. You fucking got it. Thank you for that. Thank you for that very much. Now, next board, King Bob-omb's Powder Keg Mine, a very big name. I will say, King Bob-omb themed map, fucking mint. It's just a mine factory, but you know what? I'm okay with that a little bit. I think I'm a little okay with that. That's not bad. I'm good with this. This is good by me. So, this board, I might argue this might be the best board in the game. I actually like this one quite a bit because the board is laid out a little bit bigger than any of the other boards. So it does incentivize having everyone get good allies so that you can move around to like different spots sooner. And they spread them out to different sections more. So it's like you can't really like loop ally spaces as easily on this board, which is good. It's not as broken. And a lot of the events and stuff are just like more what you would expect, and it's a lot more fun. I think this probably uses Super's mechanics the best. So let's go into the design and just see. So you'll notice right at the bat is that the beginning of the game is going to force you directly into that middle area, directly into the middle. Big old King Bob-ombs right in here. Good old King Bob-omb. And very similar to Waluigi's Island, this timer is going to tick down every time somebody lands on a happening space in here. Once that hits 0, boom, goodbye coins. How many coins? You shouldn't be asking me questions that I don't remember off the top of my head. That's fucking rude. But I'm going to tell you anyway. Royal Explosion, it's either half or it's all. Any player caught in the event will lose half their coin. So it's not as devastating. Not as devastating overall, but it's fine. It's still like half your coins, but again, there's not really a coin problem in here. Okay, just wanted to do a quick read up that real fast before we moved on. Okay. But still, losing half your coins is still a big thing, and anyone in the circle will also lose those coins. So being able to affect other players with that is funny. We do like that. Already got a positive. Now, you do want to keep your eyes out for any of the ally spaces on the board. It's always good to know where your ally spaces are. There they are. That's basically it, you know? It's like we got our ally spaces and we're set. But the fact that they're spaced out this way is really, really nice. Because, like, you could... This is really the only, like, real loop that you can do for allies if you want to stay in one area. But there is the risk of blowing up with King Bob-omb. So, it's like there's a lot more risk involved if you do stay in the circle. What you might do instead is take one of the other paths to go down to the other ways instead. To go find one of the ally spaces that way. Now, if we're talking purely what's like the best one, if you want to go like the absolute best direction, it's gonna be this one. It's gonna be this way, okay? Because this ally space also has, bam, the good old Wiggler shop, which we do love. Now, there is a Wiggler shop up this way, but there is not an ally space going that way. But the only way to get to this one is to go into King Bob-omb and go all the way around him just to get in there. So again, not an easy loop. You can't just loop that. That's great. That's good news. There is technically a way you can, but it's not efficient. That goes with actually one of the other happening events on this board, and it's these two right up here. And Bob-omb will just come and say and ask you to switch from one corner of the map to the other. Kind of a nice little movement thing. Not bad. This one is actively the better one to land on because you'll get to the shop first, then get to explore the next area of the map, which also leads to Lakitu, our boo for the board. But also landing up here after going to boo, or landing up here to get over here can also get you to the ally space right here, and it can get you to the rest of the board sooner. So either one is actually not a bad event to necessarily get, and you even get an item shop going into that one as well. So not bad. You got a different flavor for each. Now, the only main benefit of going down this way, really, is either because the star is over there or for the ally space down there. Other than that, that area is probably the weakest part of the board because of that. Because there are ally spaces elsewhere, it's not as big to get there, but it does set you back into the Bob-omb spaces like sooner rather than later. Although if we want to say if we say want to get to here and we're here, we can either go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'd be 11. Okay. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which would just bring us right back to here, right? Or we go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 for the other path. So it just kind of shows like how much more movement you have to do on this board to like get anywhere. Because again, when your median dice roll is like 3 or 4, yeah, you're not going anywhere super fast without allies or items. So choosing where you go is like, you really want to like be set in stone of like where you're going. Like if you want to go steal a star, you better be fucking sure that you want to go for that star. You better be positive that you want to go for it. Because geez, if you don't, if you could spend like all your time just trying to get there for so long and it'd just be a waste. Now there is the item shop there to help with that, but again, you still got to get through all of this even before then. So now there is one other event, this one on the left side of the board here, and this is kind of a gambling event. This is a little bit of a gambling event. You get a pickaxe and you're able to hit these rocks up to 3 times. Every time you hit it, you have the chance of either getting more money or breaking the pickaxe. And if you break the pickaxe, any of the money that you've gotten, you lose. So it's how much are you willing to like bet on the pickaxe not breaking. That's a fun little gamble for money. That's actually pretty fun. I like that. The last event on the board is with the conveyor belt up here. And it just decides which way you actually go, either on the bottom path or the top path for the conveyor belt. One path is generally better. The other path has a Bob-omb on it. The Bob-omb on this is actually very straightforward. That's what that the dice that we saw earlier had to do with. Here it doesn't really explain it, but the player passes a Bob-omb on the conveyor belt at the top. They gain a Bob-omb ally for 3 turns. And unlike other good allies, this one's bad. He'll either subtract a roll or just add nothing to it. But the real sinister thing about Bob-omb is its secret ability, its hidden ability. Oh. Yeah, Bob-omb has the ability, if you have 4 full partners already, like 4 allies, because that's the max, and you pass Bob-omb, he'll tell one of your guys to fuck off, and now you're his friend now. And you have to deal with the consequences of losing out on the character dice and the bonus dice that the normal characters would add. That's mean, but that's really funny. That's actually very funny. Hey, this one's pretty nice. This is actually a pretty good board. I think when we got this game, this is actually one of the boards we actually probably played the least. We also didn't play this game so much because it got very, very boring very, very quickly because of how this game is. But when it comes to like this game's mechanics and the way that the board works with it, it's actually really, really tight knit. I really don't have a lot of major complaints with the board itself. It is more just with how this game is played, but the board itself works really well with this game design. If more boards were like this, this game would be like probably looked on as like a nice like black sheep, but like you know, something that you could go back to is like for a different flavor every now and then. And like honestly, you could like if you are going to play Super Mario Party, play this one. I find this one's probably, I don't see a lot of people talk about this one. I think it's underrated a little bit, honestly. And I think it deserves just a bit more love. It just deserves a little bit more love, I think, overall. It's not gonna break your brain. It's not gonna be like the best thing on the planet, but you know what? That is a good time all around. You'll have fun on the Bob-omb board. Super Mario Party, You got one pretty decent one. It's nice to see. But can you do 2? That's the big question. Can you do 2? Well, it's certainly going to try because this is the board I've probably played the most on. Mega Fruit Paradise. First of all, I love the aesthetic here. I love the, it feels like a throwback to like Yoshi's Island in a way. Like the colors and the theme like really hits hard with it. All the islands being like, well, 2 of the islands being fruit based. But it has like a really fun like appeal to it. And I like that a lot. And the way you move around this board is interesting. It's another one of those like split boards where you can't access both halves of the board at all times. And in this game, because dice rolls are so small, it does hurt it a bit. I won't lie, it does hurt it a bit because of that. But let's get into more of what makes this board, and we'll go from there. Okay, so number 1, where's our ally spaces? Well, we got one on Pineapple Island. Oops, here we go. One on Pineapple Island right here. We got one on normal top left island over here. That's it. There's only 2. Just on the left side of the board has the ally spaces. That's good to know. Okay. Now, because we can very easily like see this board as like 4 different chunks and like 4 different areas to like traverse at any given time. So each of them should have something like valuable to them that makes them unique for you to want to be at any given one at any given time. No. No. There is a very bad hierarchy with this board. There are certain islands that are very good and certain ones that are not as good. I tell you right now, if I were to rank just the islands on this board, this is how I would rank it. Your number 1 island, Pineapple. We love Pineapple Island. Pineapple Island's the best. We'll get into why later. Actually, you know what? No, let's go over them in order and explain why they're good and why they're bad. So, Pineapple Island has a lot going for it, okay? Number 1, a huge assortment of both item spaces and lucky spaces, plus an ally space. That's pretty nuts. That's already, like, huge territory, right? And this island's not too big. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's only 12 spaces. So max rolls, 2 turns, you can get around the whole board, which is really cool, right? Really good. Just in that principle alone, this island is already valuable. However, it has the most valuable thing on this board, this Wiggler shop. Now, it might just seem like a normal Wiggler shop because, you know, like most Wiggler shops, they all look the same. However, this Wiggler shop has a very... Oops. No, don't do that. There we go. Goof there. This item shop has twofold mechanic. Number 1, it has more of the rare items on this one, including the golden pipe. And again, money's not hard to get in this game. The golden pipe is not that expensive. And the island's small. With an ally space on it and all these other item spaces on it. How often do you think this occurs where somebody gets on this island, gets a movement item, either gets to Wiggler and buys a bunch of golden pipes and or lands on a bunch of ally spaces at the same time? Happens a lot, and those people win the game. Pretty straightforward. You go to that shop, you buy 2 or 3 golden pipes, you get a bunch of allies, you win the game. That's it. That is, no one's gonna stop you. And also, stars spawn in that circle. So if you want to like just stay in there the whole game, you can. You can do that. You can farm stars that other players put into there because you're already gonna be in there with items and allies anyway, and just keep it up. Assuming you don't land on the main gimmick of moving around on the board, but we'll get to that in a second anyway. Like, yeah, getting to this island is huge. Getting to this island is a very, very, very huge. And even more importantly is getting to this island in time is the other thing. Because there's two reasons why, okay? The first more obvious, or the obvious one is the ice cream here. Every time somebody buys an item from the Wiggler shop, this one in particular, a wheel is spun and the ice cream might melt or might not. If the ice cream melts, it falls onto Wiggler's item supply and no one is allowed to get any items. Also, I'm calling him Wiggler, but I believe it's Flutter in the game. I think it's Flutter, but Flutter is just a Wiggler who decided that he was pissed off of the ground enough to start flying. So if anyone watches and gets mad at me for calling it Wiggler, fuck off, okay? I know it's Flutter. It's just easier this way. But back to the point, this shop has an expiration date. Potentially. I have seen times in games where this shop just like never fucking closes. It is always there. And I've had games where it's also closed the first time somebody bought an item there. So it's not a foolproof plan, but like it just exemplifies just like how badly you want to get to that shop first. If there's anything you want to gun for right away, unless it's like no, not even unless it's an ally space. No, you want to get here because like the only ally space up to this point, if you're not traveling around the board, is right before it. So you want to gun it for that shot if you can. You might get unlucky because dice rolls are typically lower in this game and the main mechanic might happen to you, so there's also that. Now, the other reason you want to get there soon is we kind of have to go into the board's main gimmick first to discuss the next part of this, of why this island is so important. So the pipe system is the way that you actually move around this board. Green pipes, red pipes. Pretty straightforward. Bing, bang, boom. Anyone with eyes can pretty much figure that out. Don't need to go overcomplicated in explaining that, right? Here's where it gets interesting, okay? The things that connect these two islands are a little bit different. The top one specifically, a little bit more tame. A little bit more tame with this one. Let me tell you exactly what happens with this, okay? So the blooper will just break the bridge and you'll go back to start. You just go back to start, which again does suck. Going back to start does suck. So it does make traveling, if you end up on this side of the board, again, because dice rolls are low, going across is can be very, very annoying unless you have an item to like confirm you'll go over there. It's also going to be why these two like the top boards kind of suck sometimes. We'll get more into that with the ranking of them. Bam, gonna have one still. But the bottom one is a little bit different. This actually acts really similar to Mario Party 4 actually, in the Bowser board in that, where when you cross this bridge, it will start to crumble. And it has an expiration date, just like the item shop does. Now, the only issue is, you don't know when this will happen. You don't know when that's going to happen. And when it happens, when this expires, it's gone. Like, it's gone for the game. Like, you can't use it anymore. You're fucked. So if you don't have access to the island from this bridge, the only way to get on and off the island is from the red pipe, which is on this island, which is hard to get to when Blooper keeps wanting to send you back to here. So you got to go back in the green pipe and come out of here and then go over here. Oh, and then hopefully you get cross Blooper, and then you have to hope you get on here, and then you'll get through here. If this island breaks and you're either if you're not on this island, don't bother trying to go here anymore unless the star is there. Don't bother. The only way you're going to consistently be able to get back on this island is if you're already on the Watermelon Island. That's it. That's the only way. And once this becomes like the rare commodity island that you really want to get to, most people, what they'll do is they'll hang out on this, eventually end up in the red pipe, go back around until they land back in the red pipe, and continue the cycle again. Now, you might think that that makes this island number 2. But no, because other than that, this island does have some benefits, but it's not that big in the grand scheme of things, and it's a pain in the ass to get to in the first place. Reminder, either landing on here to get there, which you don't want to do because you want to be here, right? Or it's going from here to here to here, avoiding the blooper along the way. No, the actual other best island is the starting island. This is actually better. Now, it's not very fancy. In fact, it doesn't really have much of anything. It's got 1 item space, lucky space, the transportation to over here. Okay, that doesn't really do us a whole lot. But remember 2 things. 1, this is the fastest you're going to get to an item shop. In fact, it is the only other item shop on the board. There is no item shop up here. If you are up here, you are not getting items unless you land on a space that will give you an item. In this game, that is a death sentence. You need items in this game more than any other, and even though this there aren't a lot of spaces in here to also give you items, the fact that you are able to buy items alone is huge. Not to mention, again, this is the island that connects to the Pineapple Island, so it already gains value by being the one that connects. I mean, come on, what? Yeah, it's automatically better because of this. Now, once this bridge is gone, this island loses value, immediately loses value, right? You can still get items in here, but you're not going to be making lots of progress staying over here. Stars spawn over here, sure, but your progress is going to stagnate if you just continue to stay here. And if you stay here too long and that bridge goes out, then the only way out is the pipes, which again is hard to land on sometimes. So you could end up just being stuck in here buying items and really not doing anything with them the entire game. So you gotta be careful with how much time you do spend here. If the bridge is active and no one else is around, then yeah, if you want to do a loop and get an extra item just to help things out, sure. But realistically, you're probably gonna just head over here, generally speaking. Most times if I'm going this way, I'm probably going over here. If you're a sicko, you might go this way. The only reason you might, if you're not going for the golden pipe strat at all, if you don't want that golden pipe strat, then it's not a bad idea to go this way, get an item through here, and then enter this pipe to get to this island. Because that's the next major part of the board. Which is yeah, that's fair. Speaking of which, island number 3 on the list. This top island right here. Now, again, this island doesn't look super fantastic off the spot, but again, our only other ally space is here. And again, this island is not that big. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 spaces. This, I believe that is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's tied for the smallest island. Because this one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So both these islands actually have 12. Both of these have 11. Huh. Funny how that works. But an ally space immediately makes this place more valuable. But also, the event up here. Ooh. So this event's kind of funny. So Boo is on this board, but it is tied to this event. That makes Boo very inconsistent and kind of a Hail Mary. But honestly, in a game that really... that has a super high coin count anyway, a short island like this, if you kept farming this for Boo, that would actually be broken. So this is actually a nice way of dealing with it. Although I swear to God, most of the time it's not Lakitu, and it's the opposite thing that you get, which is a piranha plant who takes your money, which is funny, but I swear that happens way more often than not. Or maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Now, again, this, like, being, like, the first area that you get to from a pipe, it's nice that if you can't make it to this island to farm for ally spaces, then you do end up here where you can also potentially do that as well. So, the pro is there to have that, right? But other than that, there's not a whole lot else, like, to really, like, say about this island in particular. It's like, that's kind of it. It's got that chest, it's got the Lakitu event, and it's got an ally space. Other than that, you're just going in the circle, and that's about it, right? Which leads to our last island, the Watermelon Island, which does have some nice things. It does have an abundance of item spaces. There's a fuck ton of item spaces on this area, which is nice to see. And it does have one of our only other main events on this board, because, like, again, a lot of the events on this board are just like passerby ones, like Lakitu or the ice cream or the bridge. Like, those are all just like walk-by events. It's like the only like landing events that we have are the movement ones with the warp pipes and Blooper, who sends you back to start. But this is the other secret little thing in the game that gives you the special item to get a free star on the board. If you have the item, I believe you have to land on the space twice to get the item, and then landing on again will get you, I think that's how it works on all the boards that use this mechanic. You have to get the item first, land on it again, and then you get the star. Again, the islands are small, so if you get the item, you're probably going to end up getting the star. Somebody can steal it, I believe, but it's like, typically it's like you're probably going to get it. But it's really the only anything of worth on this island other than star spawning here, because I know a star spawns here. I believe one spawns here, but like, other than that, it's like, you're not farming this. Why would you want to farm this? The only reason anyone hangs out on this island normally is just to get back in the red pipe so you can get back to this island. That is about it. Otherwise, yeah, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Now, that being said, this is the board I've played the most in this game, because everyone, like, because the aesthetic's really fun, and I think the aesthetic, like, really sells it a lot for people, which is fair. I think it's wonderful the way that this board is presented, but it's very lopsided in terms of, like, what's good. And it's like, again, when we look at like the Womps board, for example, right, or even like Bob-omb's board, right, it's like every area kind of has either a purpose to each section, right, more or less, to different areas. Like, this is like the only like real this is the only real problem area on the Womp board. And if you want to take that same route on King Bob-omb's board, it's probably like this little patch, but it even still has ally space, so it's not too bad. It's very clear what's good and what's bad on this board, right? It's like you had to find areas that you want to kind of be in at all times, and typically it is the bottom half. When you get stuck up here for too long without being able to get items outside of item spaces, you know, not getting the Lakitu, you're probably trying to land on Blooper at this point, unless you're trying to get to the red pipe to get back over here because the bridge has been destroyed. It's just like, this one feels close, and I don't even know, like, the only thing I could see to maybe fix this board, like, in general, is maybe to take this shop, put it up here. I would put it right here. I would put the item shop right up here instead. And yeah, I think I would do that. And I would take, no, I wouldn't take that. I'm trying to think of what other thing I could add to like this island to make it stand out at that point. Because you need something on it. Like, if you're gonna keep the board breaking mechanic here, like, I don't want to change like the way the board moves around too much, because that's its identity. But you need something here to like keep it engaging. Unless you just add another item shop to this island, But then that just makes this island like more obsolete. Like, why wouldn't you just want to land in the pipe to go over here to get both like Lakitu and an ally, da da da. And you could say put an ally space like here instead, which, yeah, but that would just more exemplify like you wanting to be in the bottom part of this board. I think just the way the board is designed, like that's probably gonna happen no matter what. There's not really like a reason to be on any like other part. Like, it's hard. Like, you know what? Actually, how about this? Take the item shop from here, put it here. Okay? Keep that there. Keep that there. Okay? No. Actually, this is what I would do. This item shop goes here. This goes here. This goes here. I made a real roundabout way of doing that. This would equalize the board a little bit more. Because now, each side has both one ally space and one item shop. Both item shops are on this side of the board. Both allies are on this side of the board. This is the rare shop still, which can get cut off at some point. But that's why you have the multitude of items and lucky spaces on this board. I would actually even probably turn this one into a lucky space, just to like even it out, right? Make this like Gambler's Paradise for a little while, right? But if you want friends, you're on this side, these sides of the board, right? Plus the free star event that pops up here, plus multiple stars spawn here. It's like makes wanting to go over here a little bit more enticing. And with a shop here to incentivize an easier way of getting over there, that's not bad. But also you might want to stay over here because Lakitu is still here. You can still activate Lakitu. And even if you don't get it, you come back around and get the item shop. And if you end up teleporting back, well, hey, there's an ally right here that you can go to. Or maybe you go across the bridge and go into the gambling. And that cycle can continue. I think that alone would make this board feel so much better. If that was the layout, like if I like to make this board good, I think that's the only thing that you would need to do. Literally bring this here. This shop goes here. This goes here. That's it. That's it. I think that alone would make this board so much better. So much better. Even, and if you want, like maybe even like put it here, bring this item space here, so that you know this one has more of a chance of being land out without people like ending up in the red pipe, like from getting onto the island. So maybe I would do that, but like I feel like that's a better way to do it. The way like that gets me more excited to play this board. The way that it is, it's way too lopsided. It's way too lopsided. You know exactly where you want to go at any given time. And if somebody ends up in the cycle here, then they just dominate the game, and it's just there's no real game at that point, and it's kind of lame. So, but that's my 1-2, my 2-4 on that. So, with that being said, in its current state, I'm gonna put this one in that's a board. I'm gonna put it in that's a board, and it's really close. I think the aesthetic does it a lot of good. I think most people are gonna play this over Womps for the aesthetic more. Actually, you know, I'll probably put it over Womps just for the aesthetic, but they're both like in terms of gameplay. I think this one disappoints me more than Womps. I think that's why I wanted to rate it lower for a second, because I'm like, I see a lot of potential for this, and even with a board that is forced, like movement is only like landing on spaces, which is always a hard thing in Mario Party. It's really close. It's really close to like this could be a lot better. Could be a lot better, but the theme alone, most people are gonna play it. That's just how it is. I like speculating about that one, though. That's a fun one to talk about and speculate about. Oh, okay, we gotta talk about this one now. Okay. All right, so this is one of the most infuriating boards, I think, ever. Ever. I'm not joking. This board makes me so angry. I'm so irrationally angry that this board exists. I actually think this game would be better if this board didn't exist. If this game was only 3 boards, it would be better in my brain than the 3 boards and this being here. Because this board is a trick. This is a bastard board. This one makes you think you're getting something cool and good, and you're not. And you're not at all. You're getting something fucking terrible. Let's go over Kamek's Titillating Tower. Holy shit. Yeah. So, Kamek's Titillating Tower is one of the worst boards ever created for any Mario Party game. I am not exaggerating. It's not hyperbole. This is one of the worst boards. It is probably the worst board. This board fucking sucks. This board fucking sucks so hard. Why does this board suck, Nathan? It's money. This is a golden place. This is pretty cool. My dear sweet children, you have no idea. You have no idea why this board is so bad. Let's get into why this board is so bad, because this board is so bad. Oh my god. Okay. All right, where do we start? Okay, first off, this is a one-track board. There are basically no junctions on this board. There are technically junctions, but we'll get to those in a minute. But the star is only in one spot. This is a one-star board. Star is right here all the time. Star is constantly here. And this is actually very similar to a board like Pagoda Peak or Fair Square, where the star price changes constantly on this board. Oh, finally. Stars aren't just 10 coins, thank God. What are the star prices on this board? They are 5, they are 10, they are 15. That is it. Not only that, but again, similar to Fair Square, you can buy more than 1 star at a time. However, there is a limit. 2 stars for the whole game until the last 5 turns. Then it is 3 stars. Sorry, last 3 turns of the game. This game's weird. It does final 3 turns, not final 5 turns. So usually the final 3 turn events don't get a lot of they don't matter that much because you don't barely move in this game. And that's exemplified more on this board. We'll get to it. Now, you would think because this board is smaller, it would make this maybe a little bit easier to deal with and to swallow. Because if you're not gonna have any choice to go anywhere, really, then at least you want it to be quick. But it's so monotonous for that and that point, right? Because there's nothing really exciting or engaging enough on this board to keep you entertained. Let's go into why. So first off, the major thing, what do we always point out, is ally spaces. Sorry, ally space. Ally space. There is 1 ally space on this board. It's at the very end of the loop. Only once you've gone the entire way into one of the red pipes do you get to come out here and maybe land on it. The main gimmick that this game is built on, you cannot access it regularly. Some boards have it way too often, like Womps. Womps has way too many of it. This board has basically None of it. Until one person lands on it. And then they start speeding through the course. Because it's so rare, the minute any person lands on it, that person has the biggest advantage out of anyone else. Because now they're moving through this way faster. Which means they're getting to the pipe faster, which means they have more chances to land on the ally space again. And that snowball effect happens really often. Very, very often. So immediately this ally space fucking sucks. Fucking sucks. That's not it, though. That's not it. That's not it. We also have the item shops on this board. Now, one wiggler, one not. A little bit of a fun event. So you got your normal wiggler who just sells on this board like a mushroom, a coinado, and some other bullshit. I think like nothing crazy. I want to see what it sells. I need to see what this one sells. It is, and a poison mushroom to make people roll less. Oh, joy. Now, so the main item shop is lame as hell. Okay, main item shop lame. What about this one? Well, it's a little bit more interesting here. Now we got one that's actually a little bit more. Okay, this has Toady, I believe, running it, and Toady will force you to buy an item if you go here, but the items are typically better. His items can be a dash. I should say, can be. There's only one good item in here that's different from Flutter. He still has the dash and the poison mushroom, but he can have a custom dice block.
Wait a minute. Did you say custom dice block?
Hey, guys, that's a guaranteed way of landing on the ally space. Ooh, that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. Hey, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe we all figure out what shop we want to go to. Maybe that just like, you know, we got our path that, you know, we might avoid other parts of the board, but hey, at least we have like a strategy here. Once an item is bought from Toadie's shop, it's gone until all the other items are bought. Then it resets. So the first person to get here almost immediately wins the game. Almost immediately wins. Just from that. That's it. That's fucked. That's fucking insane. Actually, bonkers that is how that is. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. Oh my god. And look, it's like even if it wasn't being used for specifically the ally space, like getting a custom dice, like there's no other event on this board that you would want to use it on. It's pointless to use it on literally anything else on this board. But without it as well, it's a gambler's luck if anyone even lands on it either. But if somebody does land on it with a custom dice, then they start steamrolling the game. Do you see where this problem just can't be fixed? It's like this board, being a board that is literally one track, fucking ruins it in so many ways. And that's just the start. There's so much more wrong with it. Okay? All right, let's look at some of the other happenings. We got a happening immediately on this board. Immediately on this board. What happens if you land on that? You go here. You miss this item shop. And you go here. You're a little close to the star, I guess. But other people are going to buy items and go And they'll probably get here sooner than you still. Because of that, because they have to travel 4, 7, 8, 9, 10 in total. And you still got to go 2, 3, 4. You got to go 5, 6 with no item. It might work out for you, but it's not that big of a deal. Like, I'd rather just buy my own item. Like, I'd rather just get my own shit and then decide what I want to do from there. But, you know, it's like, whatever. It might help you. It might help you. If you already, like, if you get it on a loop, you might already have an item. It might let you go somewhere sooner. Who knows? I mean, this path does have one of the other junctions, right? Like, the only reason to take this junction at all is for a couple different things. So let's see if those things are valuable, because going this way obviously has this. Actually, I should point out, what's the other reason to go up here? Well, we actually have another event right here. It's a bad one. It's Chain Chomp. The gate goes down and he attacks you and he takes your money. That's it. It's random how much money he takes. It's usually not that much. It usually doesn't matter. It's a very nothing event. You might land on it twice because the dice rolls are bad in this game, but it's probably not going to matter that much. So that's that junction. What's this way? Well, we got 2 different events here, okay? Let's start with the other happening space. Okay, we got another happening. What's this one do? It actually brings you to this little section over here. This is where Lakitu is. Here's the issue with this. Why is Lakitu in an area that is only accessible through a single fucking happening space, which you will most likely pass most of the time? And, oh, you might say, well, you can get the custom block. Why wouldn't you use it on that? Have you not been paying attention? The ally space is the fucking only thing you want to land on. And why would you want to go to Lakitu to steal a star intentionally? Why? When stars are so cheap already, even 15 coins is not a lot of money. Even that's not a lot of money. And you can buy 2 stars at a time, maybe 3 if it's the last 3 turns. Why the fuck would you go this way just to maybe steal 1 star for 30 coins? That's insane. I could get 2 stars, make the same gap of stars distance between me and another player from buying 2 for a fraction of the cost. Maybe exactly the cost. At the worst case scenario, it costs exactly the same. And even then, if it's the last 3 turns, I could maybe buy 3 and make that gap even bigger. Like, and I don't have to waste a turn landing on a happening just to get over here. The only other benefit that this has is that it gets you back to maybe land on the ally space sooner. But it's such a waste of money to spend on a star, stealing a star rather than just go buy 2 yourself. Like, why the fuck would you do that? That makes no sense. Why is that locked away back there? Like, what? That's actually criminally insane. It's criminally insane. Okay, well, okay, so if going that way, if this happening is just, not helpful, what else do we have? Well, you have 2 options here, okay? You can either keep going right and just act like you're on the main path. You can do that, or you can go to Thwomp. Now, this is treated just like Thwomp is in Yoshi's Island for Mario Party 64. He will ask you to pay a fee. You pay whatever amount of coins that you want, as long as it's higher than the fee that he asked for. And the next time somebody gets to him, he will ask that whatever the last person paid, you have to pay 1 coin higher than that. Okay. A shortcut. It's a shortcut that you have to pay for. Okay. How many spaces does it save? Let's count from the junction itself. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 to the star. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One space. One fucking space is the only difference between paying Thwomp or just going this direction at all. What's the fucking point? What's the point? There's really no good fucking reason to take that path. There really isn't, right? Because what are you missing out on? Well, if you go this way, look, item in lucky space. Okay, you get a lucky, and you get the lucky space going this path. Okay, immediately that's more valuable. And going this way has the fucking item shop. Even if you don't get to necessarily choose what item is in the shop at the time. Maybe you get stuck with an item that you don't want. Maybe it is like just the cursed one. But even if you get the dice block or the regular dash mushroom, that still leagues better than just getting one extra space less to the star and paying for that. Like, why would you actively, like, what? There is no point to going this way. There is no fucking reason, no good strategy for going this way. This board fucking tricks you. This is a fucking bamboozle of a board. This board only you realistically should only be taking this path to the star. That's it. There is no other reason to go anywhere else. Ah! The only other event on this board is the statue that changes the price of the star, which will be random. It will spit out an orb. It'll be 5, 10, or 15 coins. That's it. This board is one of the most boring things I've ever played in a game. It's so shiny, and it's so special, and it's so unbelievably brain dead boring because there's nothing to think about. It's if I get movement item, use movement item to get to stars sooner. Oh, did I get dice block? Did I get custom dice? Use near here to land on pipe or to land on character space. Repeat, 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 repeat till end of game. And then get this. Get this, okay? This monotonous sack of shit that this board makes you go through. Remember when I said that Super Mario Party specifically makes you only play 20 turn games max? That's the max. This is the only board in the game that can play 30 turns. Why the fuck would I want to play 30 turns of this shit? Why can't I play 30 turns of the fucking pineapple map or the Bob-omb map? Fuck it, I'll take 30 turns on Womp's Ruins. As long as it's not this bullshit. Why the fuck would I play, like, what? It's every aspect of this board is wrong. Every single aspect of this board is fucked. Oh, I know what I did here. Every aspect of this board is wrong in every way. It's just not cohesive. It is not enjoyable. It is not fun. The small size, like, exemplifies this because there's nothing to do here. There's nothing happening here. You actively don't want this happening. These happenings take your money. This changes the price of the star when money is not a problem in this game, so that doesn't matter. This happening brings you here, which doesn't matter because it's on a worse path anyway. You have 2 item shops and ally space to care about, and even then, this is only good for one person at a time. Every fourth person every first and then every third person after who gets to it. And then this is just the most boring ass item shop. Like, this game has fun items and you just like don't get to see them on this board. And again, where are the item spaces on this board? Oh, there's one here and one here, and that is fucking it. Why is this nothing but blue spaces? Why is there nothing in here? Where's the item spaces in here? Why not have some spread out about to make things more interesting? There's just no reason. Why? There are other boards that we've talked about in this series that are bad, that are very, very bad, very poor design, either like bad with movement, bad with events, you know, like economies are bad. This just has every single bad element packed into one. The movement is boring. You have no choice on the boards. The items are garbage. You barely get any. It is very lopsided with one item being the only powerful one and only one person gets it at a time. Money is not a problem because the stars are already cheap. They can be cheaper on this board and you can buy more than one at a time. The other events are worthless, garbage, that are either completely against winning the game or just barely negligible at all in the first place. There's nothing else I can say about this board that will save it. This is one of the worst. This is the worst Mario Party board ever created. There is no saving this board. There is nothing. This board needs to be completely abandoned, completely redone in a million different, to the point where this is not the same board. It would not be the same board. It would not matter in the slightest. I can't fucking stand this board. It is the worst thing to ever exist in Mario Party history, other than the non-Mario Party games. And honestly, I would probably play Mario Party 9 and 10 before I play this board, because at least there's a semblance of like something moving, something happening, events that, you know, can trigger an emotional response at any point. This board just doesn't. 30 turns? What do you mean 30 turns? Why would I want 30 turns here? This is by far, without a question of a doubt, the absolute worst board of the entire series. The absolute, so bad. The worst thing in Mario Party history. There you go. It is actually infuriating to talk about this board. It is one of the worst things to ever exist. The only funny enough, I'm gonna take a second here to actually to talk about one other thing. I'm actually gonna go into this board a little bit here. This version. the multiplayer version. This is a better version of the fucking board. This makes more sense. Even then, this one's still bad, but it's better than the main one. Like, so much more options to go, more things to do. The Thwomps have more of a purpose on this board, separating the two halves. Like, this makes sense. This works here so much more. Like, I can't believe how badly they fucked this shit up. I can't believe how badly this shit is fucked up. We are never gonna see something this bad in Mario Party again. I promise you, nothing is going to be worse than this fucking piece of shit. Mario Party 4 wishes it had a board this bad. Wow. God. Okay. 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 I'm okay. That was a lot. That was a lot. A lot of emotion in there. In the grand scheme of things, I appreciate Super Mario Party for what it's done. For us, Super Mario Party had a banger sort of minigames. It had some fun ideas. It had some decent like board designs. Some like one pretty okay one. The other ones are just kind of eh. Like there's a lot of missed potential when it comes to Super Mario Party. But at the end of the day, it did bring us back to a good status quo for the series. So I'm happy for that at the very least. And it led directly and probably inspired what came directly after it, which is one of my favorite things in Mario Party history to have gotten. The kind of the dream game that I think a lot of us like were hoping for. And that's Mario Party Superstars. A collection of Mario Party boards from across the series, reimagined in modern day, updated mechanics, updated layouts. This game is phenomenal. The only problem with this game is there is not enough of this game. That is the problem with this game. There's just not enough of it. I want more of it. Why don't I have more? Why didn't they ever make DLC for this game? Why did they ever remake more boards for it? I don't know. Like, I know the probable answer is that they were really just saving them for Jamboree. That's kind of what my thought process is. Because, spoiler, Jamboree does also have 2 boards remade in that game that are also Mario Party 1 and 2 boards. So they would have fit perfectly in here. But it's fine that I don't mind that they are in Jamboree for specific reasons, and that will be apparent when I talk about Jamboree specifically. But if the major problem with this game is just that we wanted more of it. I mean, by God, this game is so much fun. I've spent so much time playing this game. This is one of the best Mario Party games, just like inherently. Like, yeah, I think this is just one of the best ones, like, to date. Are there issues with it? Yeah, I think there's still like some things I would change. Like, Bowser feels like a little weak in this game, I find. Doesn't do like as much overall, I usually say. He's not as punishing. I find that there's an abundance of lucky spaces I find that get landed on like more often than anything else, which is kind of nuts. I think you could replace a couple of them with just like more item spaces instead, or like more battle spaces. But you are also building off of like a previous game. But still, I feel like it's like I think overall this game is pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. Is it my favorite Mario Party? No, it's still not my favorite, but it's right up there. It is definitely up there. And the boards are fucking good. So, because this is all remake stuff, like we've talked about all these boards individually. All these boards are from the original 3 Mario Party games, 1, 2, and 3. And honestly, the biggest ones that are going to be changed are the ones from Mario Party 1. Because Mario Party 1 had a lot of stuff that didn't exist yet. Or, sorry. Mario Party 1 didn't have a lot of things that exist now in Mario Party. That only started appearing as of Mario Party 2. So they definitely have like the biggest facelifts. So we'll have the most time to chat about the Mario Party 1 boards. But even the other boards do have some significant changes as well. And I have both versions of the boards here to compare and to talk about with specific things. Now, there'll be some minor stuff, which is like where certain spaces are placed. And jump scare. The main example here is like if we're looking at the Yoshi board, for example, which is the first board that we're going to start with. So actually, why don't we go right ahead and here we go. That's the opening. There we go. I love this tune. Also, the fact that they have both remastered, like remixed tunes and the original tunes to swap between for the game. That's lovely. And all the remixes are so good. They're so good. But if you want that like nice nostalgic appeal, go back and listen to the original track with this game because it's such a brain blast to have. But you can see some of the changes to like the boards like immediately here, right? Like even just like the opening here of having 7 spaces in total. Still have 7 here, but the layout is just a little bit different, right? For one, Mario Party 1 didn't have items. So now we got items. But every other Mario Party game doesn't have single player minigames. So we don't have that anymore either. So there's gonna be tweaks to the way that the Mario Party 1 boards are done more so than others, but for the most part, they stay pretty faithful. Most of what you'll see is they actually just like shrunk the board slightly. There are less spaces overall on the remake boards as opposed to the originals, which honestly is fine. That's not a big deal. I think especially on this board in particular, I think it helps to have less spaces overall. I don't think it affects the right side of the island as much as it does like the left side. I think the right side is fairly even. Yeah, the right side is pretty good. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 27. Okay. Oops. There we go. Okay, let's go here. Oh, shit. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's actually one more on the remake on the right side. That's actually kind of funny. They actually add one. Oh, it's because they add, yeah, it's like they just add one extra random space over there. Kind of interesting that they made the right side bigger. But they did make the left side smaller. They made the left side smaller for sure. Because this is still 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 28. Penis. Now here, actually, it might end up being pretty similar. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 29. So it is shorter. It is shorter. So they kind of just took a couple spaces from over here and just put it over here. It's kind of all they did, but I think it works. It's still around the same size. And events are placed pretty good now. I think I like the placement of everything is pretty good, but all the events are exactly what you expect. This board in particular is very straightforward on its events. It only has one event really on this board, and it's just swapping Bowser and the star space on the board. That is it. That is literally it. You have Boo. Obviously, we have the Thwomps, which we just went over. Not saying the board's name again, but otherwise it's like this is one of the most straightforward boards in the series. I am glad that they remade this one though. I think this is a fun one to remake, because again, the theme, just like the Mega Fruit Paradise in Super, it's just a fun theme. This is just like a fun place to be. The music's fun, the atmosphere is great, it's just good vibes. Now, the bonus to this game in particular that makes it stronger than its original counterpart is twofold. One, just because, hey, we can have items now. Mario Party 1 didn't have items. That makes Mario Party 1 inherently worse because it makes traveling around boring. It makes doing things like very boring because you end up just on one tracks and you can't do anything until you finish a track, right? You only have the junctions when you have the junctions, and that's about it. That is true on this board, but items can help alleviate that, like warping items, movement items, you know, like there's a ton of different ways to still affect the board and affect like what's going on because of the item play, which is good. Now, what separates these items in terms of their value, aside from whether Bowser or Toadette are on either side, is what you have access to, because each side has access to one specific thing that only they have. The left side island has access to the only item shop on the board. The right side island has the only access to Boo. What's more valuable? Honestly, it really depends on the scenario. It depends on what's going on with the game. Is the star moving around a lot? Is there a high star count? Do you value being able to control where you're going a little bit more, or to mess somebody else up? The items might be better for you. Maybe Boo's better for you to catch back up and to drop somebody back down a peg. Honestly, it's like your best bet on this board is usually to follow the star, or at the beginning of the game, go for the items right away. Like maybe that's what you want. Maybe you go for an item, get a custom dice block, you get near Bowser, it hasn't moved yet, and you force the switch. And hopefully no one else switches it before your next turn. Anytime I try this strategy, it gets switched the same turn, and I get fucked. But you have a lot more options at this point. One of the funniest things to do on this board is to get the warp block, which does switch you in this game. They put it back to normal, but they will switch it back to the super version in Jamboree, but we'll get to that when we'll get to that one. But in this game, it fully swaps the players. So one of the funniest things you can do is buy warp blocks, get yourself in a shitty position, and then just swap with somebody else. It's so funny. Now, I will say you're probably better off playing on the right side of the island. This is probably the better place to be. The reason I say that is because lucky spaces and item spaces exist to get you items anyway. And it's not like they're in short supply on either side of the board. You're probably going to get items. You're probably going to get a lot of money. And if you have a lot of items and you have a lot of money already, then Boo is way more valuable overall. But that does come into play with the other. I said the only main event on this board is like the swapping of the stars. No, the Thwomps is the other thing that you can really play with, and more now than when the game originally came out. Now you can forcibly stop somebody from accessing either the item shop or Boo, or force them to not be able to leave a certain area if you want them to stay in an area and just like continuously not be able to gain resources. That's really not a bad call. If you want to block off a half of an island, one of the best things you can do at the start of a game, if you really want to like get like this side of the island and own it immediately, is just get to here, spend all your money here so that no one else can be over here. You might miss out on the star the first time go around, and the star could change as well, right? But then you're immediately forcing everyone else to either spend more money, if they have it, to go this way and follow you into this train pit, or to take the other path. which forces more item play, which forces more interesting gameplay. And you might still get the star over here if it doesn't get moved. You could get some lucky spaces, you could just roll low, win some mini games and get there. Plus, don't forget that you'll still have access to Boo when you get to it. So it's definitely a much more balanced board overall, and it's way better than the original. Just in the fact of items being there, a little bit more balance on like where the spaces are, and like the economy being more useful. It's still not the best board. It's still not like a great board, and it can definitely drag on like longer games. But like, no, they did a good job bringing this one back to life, and I think it's definitely still worth playing. But it's not like. It's not huge or anything. I'm not gonna say that they're like, oh, this board, it's now perfect. No. This board is just a good time. This is a good time all around, I would say. It's probably like near the bottom of the tier, if I were to say. I would probably put it closer to the bottom more than I would to the top. But again, I'm not ranking these like individually, like, because again, I'll be here forever. But at the very least, it's like it's a lot stronger now than it was back in the day. A very good facelift for this one. Very nice to see like how this one came together. Yeah, and that's just the first board. That's just the first one. Like, damn. The first remake, it's already pretty decent. I wonder if that train will keep on going. Is that fucking Spaceland? Yeah, it is. People love Spaceland, dude. People really love Spaceland. I'm actually fairly indifferent to like the original Spaceland. Where did I rate Spaceland originally? Did I put it up in good time or? Okay, yeah, I put it in good time all around. Like, yeah, it's still a good time all around. I think I am like looking at that like really with Mario Party 2 goggles on. Like the item system in that game really makes it like more challenging to enjoy. But it's still pretty good. It's still pretty good. I think honestly, the new version of Tropical Island is about where I feel about Spaceland, like both around the bottom of the tier. But what does that mean for new Spaceland? Now that it's been remade, what kind of changes do we have here? Well, number one is just not a whole lot, actually. Funny enough, it's almost identical to the previous iteration of it. It's like space count and everything. It is really, really close. There are some major changes, or there are some minor changes in here that do adjust some things, but like if you've played Spaceland before, you're getting what you remember for the most part. A little bit of a facelift and some extra little things, but like overall, it's like it's Spaceland. Like I really don't have a whole lot other to say for it. It's Spaceland. But let's go into it anyway. Let's see if the changes are made are good enough to propel it forward, right? And again, because this is a Mario Party 2 board, one of the things that helps out the most is being able to have more than one item at a time. Oh my God. So many problems are solved just from that alone. Being able to actually have more than one item and strategize around the board immediately makes this board better. And because it's so familiar, like there's not a whole lot to like discuss like new wise. Like the item shop is still where you expect, the banks are still where they are. The snippet patrols that cause you to move along the happening events differently without them landing just shy of the snippet patrol and with them going all the way up is like it's a pretty big difference there, right? And that's cool to see. There actually is one slight difference on the board design when it comes to the snippet patrol specifically, actually. Oops. There we go. Get rid of all that. So the main thing that's kind of different here is it actually where you end up from the snippet patrol in particular. Because in the original game, you actually had this, like, this little thing here that forced you to, like, you would end up going up the Sniffet Patrol and you would end up over here. But in the remake, we don't have that bridge. You don't go over there in this one. You actually end up... I gotta be on the right layer every time. You actually end up here. That might not seem like a major change, but it is a significant change. Here's why. Both paths, when you end up here, will both at least still have you in line of the big Bowser cannon, which, reminder, after 5 people passing through the center, will blast everyone in the vicinity and take all their money. Glad they kept that. Thank you for making it all the money still. But the major difference that this does is that you're on a completely different route now. And I say completely different, but... Well, yeah, no, completely different route. You are on a completely different route because you wouldn't be on this route otherwise, right? When you're doing this, you end up over here, and now you can go to Boo. Oh, Boo is now more easily available based on the Sniffet event. That's a little risky. Paying the Sniffet to make it so that people go up here when this event is activated can be risky if other people might also be in that line, because you might bring other people to Boo with you as well. Huh, okay. That's kind of neat. I kind of like that. Now, the way the original one did it, going over to here, wasn't a bad way of doing it. You got to the middle of the board. You got to, like, decide where you wanted to go from there, right? We had different junctions to explore at that point. But also, going down this way, you can still go back up to that middle area. The original board also has that path. So you kind of get the best of both. You can get to Boo, and you can go back up there. That's a nice change. That's a good, like, different pace that the board can have then. And there's still the risk. If you're on this board and you end up here, but the count is low, somebody passes that, well, you got fucked. You can't even, like, really use Boo to the way you wanted to use it. You gotta be really careful for when you pay Sniffet, and like, and again, you might not even land on the happening, but it can be a blessing, it can be a curse. Now, the other Sniffet Patrol doesn't really change. Honestly, like, this one's basically the same, although, yeah, I believe it's almost, I think it's exactly the same. No, I think you actually do end up on the same path. I think you do end up back down here. I might now have to see this. Actually, I am curious to know now if I'm right or wrong on this. Spaceland Sniffet Sniffet event superstars. I want to see if yeah, I'm gonna just take a quick look just to see here. Okay, that's the one we just talked about. I want to go over the other one more specifically. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I am right. Okay. Good. I just need to make sure this. Okay. So you do end up right there. That is exactly where you'll end up. Now again, still keeps you in the original game. You actually did walk this path. You actually ended up here. But this actually isn't that bad of a scenario. Now, you are now stuck on this path for longer, right? Because, like, you're paying the sniffet to land on here and then go all the way to here, right? It's like, that might not seem great at first glance, but it might be deceiving, because don't forget, this is also where the only item shop is. And because you can buy more than one item in this game and hold more than one item at a time, there's one item in particular that is a lot more valuable now. The skeleton key. In Mario Party 2, it wasn't very helpful. Like, the door over, if we're looking at the original map, this door in particular, this door in particular is fucking useless. Like, honestly, so useless. The only reason to go in here is if you're worried about getting blasted by this at all. And, like, if you're already worried about getting blasted by that, you probably went a different way anyway, instead of getting yourself locked in this, like, weird little hole. And there's, like, nothing here. It skips Boo. It's only blue spaces, like, and it only leads, what, right back up to the Sniffet Patrol? It's just not fucking worth it. Why would you ever use this door? Now, the other door does have a Boo. Have access to another Boo on the board, which is nice. But again, you only get one item in the game to have. But because you only have one item, it might be worth to have it for that, but it might also be worth just to get, like, a better movement item or, like, a magic lamp or something else, right? It's like, you really can't just be, like, betting on, like, you know, landing on an item space, like, somewhere else on the board, and then getting a skeleton key and then being like, all right, I guess I'll hold this for the next while until I get here, oh, wait, I almost got there, and then somebody used the plunder chest on me, and now I can't do it. Uh-oh. That sucks. But now, we don't really have that problem, do we? We can have more than one item. And with the item store being right there, you set yourself up perfectly to maybe already have gone past and gone an item, activated the Sniffet Patrol, got back down here, you buy a skeleton key, and go directly to Boo. And then you're immediately back in the junction to go wherever you want. And hey, maybe you'll go back up, go back to Toad, go back and do this again. It is a valid strategy to do. It is actually useful to do that. But also, it's not the only one to use the key for. You can also use the key now to go through this door and land on the only chance time spaces on the board. This is the only way to access chance time on this board, and it's fucking sick. And if you don't land on chance time, well, you have a plethora of both items and battle minigame spaces to land on as well. And if you don't land on those, though, then at least you rolled high, and you can either activate the Sniffet Patrol to potentially go up to here to see Boo again, or just go back on the main path. Maybe go back to the shop. Maybe you're closer to the star in this position. You have a lot of options at that point. So just the added nature of having the ability to hold more than one item at a time, and the slight tweaks to the Sniffet Patrol ending spots being on the edges of the Bowser paths, that actually does wonders to this map. This actually, like, freshens the map and gives a little bit more strategy, a little bit more thought into it. It's a lot more fun to play on this board now. And, like, again, you have so many more variety of spaces now, like tons more battle spaces, way more items, way more lucky spaces. You know, Bowser's still here in like all the same areas that you expect. I don't think there's any like new Bowser spaces. I think they're all basically where you expect them to be. Like this looks to be like the most like faithfully recreated board, I think, out of all the ones that were made. But just those tiny tweaks and having a better item system overall really, really makes this board so much more fun to play. Now, it's not like the perfect board. Again, because like the snippets are like the only main event that occur other than the Bowser Cannon, events are still more rare to happen, and you can't plan around them as much, right? Like, you still have to land on either one of two happening spaces down here, or you gotta land on one of three happening spaces up here. So these things aren't going to happen all the time, but the slight changes do make it more interesting. And I really appreciate the game for doing that. It's rare that you get like such small changes can add so much to it. But it really does a really good job on it. It's funny. It's a tough one. This is a little tough for me. You know what? I think I'm feeling a little generous today. I think that's mostly where I'm getting with this. And it makes me want to like tier this in a way that is like specifically like it like tiered in like a specific order and everything. And I'm annoyed that I'm not doing that now. Because I want to put Spaceland in the so close tier, but I want to have it at like the bottom. Like it's really, really solid. It's really, really solid. I think it's the bottom of this tier. Like, this ain't no, like, Bowser's Pinball Machine, but, like, Neon Heights. It ain't Pagoda Peak, you know, like, kind of boards. But it is really good. It is really, really good. It's a really good facelift of a board. I will say that. I think the only thing that really brings this board down is the fact that it's just, like, events just aren't really, like, there isn't a lot of events that activate super frequently. Sometimes they do. Sometimes, I mean, it really depends on the game, but like, there's only 2 events, right, that happen outside of like the stuff that you normally see. It's just canon. It's just snippets. That's about it. Now, those events are interesting, but there's just not a lot of it. So, that being said, though, great revision. Great revision. It was definitely worth bringing it back. Just those small changes. I know a lot of people really like Spaceland in particular, and it's not a bad board at all. It's a very good board. It's not one of the best boards in the series. No, it's not. But it is up there. I mean, you could say it's one of the best boards in the series, like based on like where it's placed against everything else, especially Superstars version. And I still think like even the original is still a good one, not a great one, but still a good one. So. Yeah, yeah, Spaceland's cute. Spaceland is a bygone era. It's a very cute one for me. What a nostalgic map. But if you want to talk nostalgic for me, oh, there's one board that's going to be nostalgic as hell. Oh, yeah. There's a board I played a lot of, probably too much of. It was probably this one. At least in the original. Peach's Birthday Cake. The other Mario Party 1 board in the to come back. Again, an interesting choice to bring this one back out of all the boards. Because there's a lot of other boards that could have been brought back, like DK's Jungle Temple. You had, you know, even like Eternal Star would have been like a cool like Easter egg final map to have. Could have had not Magma Mountain, probably, hopefully not. Luigi's Engine Room would have been another fun one to see again, actually. I would have really loved to see like a modern take of Luigi's Engine Room. But what they did here is probably the most drastic change to any of the boards that we've seen. This has the absolute most changes out of any board. Also, the picture's a little weird, just like the way that it's shown off, but like, I can't really help that. There wasn't a lot of pictures of this one for some reason. And there's a lot of changes here. So let's go over like what this board has really changed. The major thing, again, items, just having items does so much for a board, right? Like the fact that it's like, you can buy items now, but not till later in the board. So you are going the first little bit without items unless you're landing on the few lucky spaces. I fucking missed that. The few lucky spaces that do pop up beforehand. There are no item spaces here as well. Not a single item space. Interesting. There is a good reason for that, though. There is a good reason for that. The reason I think they did that is because they didn't want people fully being able to rush this board, like on a whim, like being able to like get a mushroom right away and just start like steamrolling the game like ahead of everyone else. You might get lucky from a lucky space to do that, but that's more balanced. You still can do it, but you gotta but you have to have the luck of it, landing on the space and hoping you get an item that's gonna work for it. So it wants you to have kind of a slower pace. It wants to have a little bit of a slower pace. That's not a bad thing. So what else do we change here? Well, let's go over the piranha plants actually specifically. So in the original game for the piranha plants, they're all still here. We still have all these piranha plants. But in the original, we had a lot more. We had a lot more piranha plants. Overall, this board is slightly, I believe it's slightly smaller, or it might be the same size. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 17 there. It's actually a little bit longer on this stretch. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 there. We have 5, 10, 12 there. Okay, so they balanced out the cake a little bit more. Balanced out the cake a little bit. That's good. I think the middle definitely has less. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in the middle. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. Yeah, so less in the middle as well. But back to the piranha plants. Piranha plants specifically, we have less of them overall. Some of the happenings down here have been replaced by just like other spaces, right? Like we got, I think chance time was added down here. Yeah, we have a chance time added in the bottom section here now, and a battle space now. So those exist. But here's the other thing. There are less piranha plants even more than that. In the original game, you could pay, you know, the money to plant a piranha plant on each of the individual happening spaces. Each one of these was its own separate event. In this game, they're paired. So there's only one piranha plant for every 2 spaces. Now, that might seem lame at first, but I actually see this as kind of a positive. The reason I see this as a little bit of a positive is because now you're more likely to have somebody activate your piranha plant at all, because you don't have to just land on one magic happening space. Now you have 2 to activate it. And there's more room for control in a specific area, which is nice. But on top of that, they've also adjusted the piranha plants a little bit more. When you land on their space for the first time, you can choose a different kind of seed to plant. 2 different piranha plants. One costs 5 coins, one costs 30. The 5 coin one just means that it'll be a small piranha plant, and if somebody lands on it, the piranha plant will steal money from them. Usually more than what you paid to plant it. And sometimes it will survive and do it twice. It'll be able to do it a second time. Or, if you pay the 30 coins, you get a bigger piranha plant, and that's when the original mechanic of stealing a star comes into play. It will steal a star. Another thing that not a lot of people know is that if you buy one early and make it a small one in the early game, and you land on it again while it's still active later, you can actually upgrade it to the big one. So it can become a star steal one as well, if no one's landed on it yet, or it hasn't been disappeared yet. That's a neat little addition. So it incentivizes you still like wanting to own a small one so that no one else ends up like getting it before you do, and then you can still upgrade it later. And even if you don't get to upgrade it, well, you still got some money out of it, probably from stealing from people, even if it was only one time. So even then, it's you getting fucked over less. So that's a nice quality of life change. That's actually kind of nice to see. Now, the biggest change that this board has is the junction. Because it's a one-track board, you're like, there's no junctions on this board. It's one track. No, there is one junction. It's the event. If you remember in the original, there's a Goomba that shows up right before the star. Right here. And he will force you to pay 10 coins. and you have to pick a seed. If you get the bad seed, you go to Bowser, and you end right back at the Goomba to start that cycle over again. 3 people will go to the star space, 1 will go to Bowser. That's just how it works, right? And the seeds don't reset when the bad one is got. Everyone else will get to go. So it's pretty funny. Now, Goomba's not there anymore in the original. He's in a completely different spot. Now he's actually after the star. He actually appears... Fucker. He actually appears right here instead. This is where it gets way more interesting. This is actually really cool because now no one is going to be stopped from going to the star. Everyone's going to get the chance to get to Toadette. Whether you have the money or don't, at that point, that's up to you, right? Being able to have the money. Don't be poor, idiot. As the rich and wealthy say in the real world, just stop being poor. It's that easy. But now, going the Bowser way doesn't necessarily always have to be a punishment. Because here's the thing. If we're going around this board, you get the star, you're going, hey, you pick up an item too. Sure, let's get a movement-based item. You have a lot of money right now, you might as well spend it. You bought a star, you still got some good cash going on. Oh, now you're at Goomba. Okay, he's gonna take 10 coins, and he's gonna force you to pick a seed. Here are now your 2 options that will happen. You pay your 10 coins, and you go on the standard track that you would expect. Might get the Piranha Plant, might get the Chance Time. You're gonna go past Start, get some extra money, and then go back on the main route to go back to Toadette. It's a bit of a trek, though. Bit of a ways to go all the way around the board. But now, if you go the Bowser way, you have a shorter track of 10 spaces before ending up right at Toadette again. And Bowser's not that intimidating in this game, or at least on the Mario Party 1 boards when he like shows up like he does in the original game. He doesn't take that much money. And Mario Party Superstars doesn't really have a money problem either. Honestly, there's honestly probably too much money that goes around in Mario Party 1. But this board actually helps that out a lot because spending money on upgrading Piranha Plants, buying items, buying the star, having to spend 10 coins with Goomba, then also having to pay by going through Bowser. If you have a good amount of money, if you're rewarded by going the Bowser direction, potentially. Hopefully you don't land on Chance Time or Bowser to fuck you up. But you have a significantly smaller path now to get to the star again. And that will also mean a shorter path to get to another item. To get back to Koopa. To go back to Bowser. You know, going to Bowser doesn't have to be a bad thing. It might still be a bad thing if you're not in the position to benefit from it at the moment. But sometimes maybe you do want to go to Bowser on occasion now. Maybe instead of buying a movement item in here, maybe you buy a warp block in here. Maybe you wait for somebody else to go in here. Maybe then you continue on the path. Maybe buy up some Piranha Plant spaces, all that. Maybe then you swap over and steal a star early. There's a lot more strategy that goes into that now. The items play a huge role in this, but also that change of the board of when you go to Goomba and where the item shop is such a smart decision. It's such a, what a great way to bring this board back. And not to mention that, I didn't even get to mention the new happening space on the top layer of the cake that just brings you down to the bottom layer. So you don't get to go to the shop. You don't have to pay 10 coins and potentially go to Bowser, but you get to skip 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 spaces, including potentially Piranha Plant, again, losing the money to Goomba, the Chance Time, and you get back on the main track a little bit sooner. Now, you won't be able to get to the item shop, but maybe you already have items from Lucky Spaces, so it might not be too bad either. Plus, maybe you get back to upgrade your Piranha Plant sooner before anyone else can get to this area, and then they have to worry about losing their star on the main track now. There are pros and cons to almost every event on the board now, and everything has been updated in such a wonderful way. It's funny. I'm gonna fucking joke. It's a treat. It really is a treat to play on this board now. And like, I love I played this board a lot as a kid. Like, I played this board a lot as a kid, an unhealthy amount. And when I play like the all board speed run, this is one of my favorite boards to do in the all board speed run, because I love trying to play it so that the CPUs never get to go to the star space and no stars are bought and I get a huge time save. It's a fun thing for me to be able to do, and I like this board for that. But I can admit when a board has made a significant improvement on like a gameplay standpoint, like for like not a speedrunner's like side, because like, yeah, if I'm playing this casually, it's not gonna be very fun. 50 turns on this is painful. It's painful because not much happens, right? Even with the piranha plants, not a whole lot can happen because you still have to hope somebody might land on your space. It's kind of like, oh man, that's a little rough. But here, things happen on this board now. There's a lot more choice to everything you do, and that's really cool and interesting. I love the way that they took it. I wasn't sure. I was really shocked the first time I saw this board revealed before the game came out, and noticing that change and just having my mind blown, being like, that opens up so much more. Between that, having items, having an item shop on the board now, having the piranha plants change the way that they are, having the extra event to slide down the event more. This is a great board. Honestly, for me, it's like this is like a phenomenal change. This is a really good one. Honestly, this is also a so close board. This is like, I would play this more than I would play Spaceland probably. I love what this board can do. And like, I do think it still works better as a shorter game as opposed to a longer game. I think a longer game can still potentially drag a little bit. But man, it's a good one. It's hard for me to decide between which one I think goes more. I think if you're playing longer games, like I do prefer longer games, I'll probably play Spaceland. But at the same time, man, Peach's Birthday Cake did a really good job. Honestly, really, really solid work all around on that board. The changes on that one are pretty fantastic. They like, I'm really shocked at how well it really worked out. Yeah, just shocked at how well it worked out. I think I did place a lot of the Mario Party 1 boards a little higher overall, just based on like the fact that it's Mario Party 1. Like, they do probably deserve to go down a little bit, like, in all honesty. Like, I would probably drop like Bowser's Magma Mountain a little bit. That one will probably go down to that just because it's not super appealing. Yeah, but I think just that one, like, I kind of, I'm like, is Peach's Birthday Cake in its original form, that's a board mentality? I think it is. But at the very low, like, if I were to rank like everything in here, this is probably at the bottom. Like, it's very close to being like, most people would not want to play this. But as somebody who like played this board a lot growing up, like, I really appreciate this, the version that we got in Superstars. This is an insane upgrade. I can't believe how good this board ended up being. Yeah, just kind of nuts. Just kind of nuts. Okay, so now we're jumping a little bit here to what actually might be the best remix of any of the boards. We got Woody Woods, the only Mario Party 3 board to be remade to this day. Jamboree has no Mario Party 3 representation, and this is the only representation that exists in Superstars at all. Out of all the boards to bring back, I'm really mad that they didn't bring back Waluigi's Island, but I know I'm a sadist, So it's fine. That board's already perfect anyway. Woody Woods has some opportunities here to be, you know, something a little bit different, something a little bit special potentially, right? And even from looking at it, you can see there's quite a bit different here. It might not seem like it a lot at first, but this board is a lot smaller than the original. The original Woody Woods is big. It's a big board. It's not as big here. It's definitely not as big here. And they did change a few different things to make move around this board a little bit more interesting. So, but there are some things that are taken away because it being a Mario Party 3 board that doesn't have certain Mario Party 3 mechanics. Rest in peace, Reverse Shroom. We miss you. Please come back to me. Maybe one day. But even without that, there's a lot to look at on this board. So let's just see like some of the major differences off the bat. Now, immediately the first like thing that is safe is just the Monty Moles. The Monty Moles are exactly where they are. All the main paths are still there. That doesn't change. Still have that. That's very normal. What has changed is just like the number of spaces typically in like a lot of given areas. Like right off the bat, like some places like, hey, right, like the Woody Woods area is like, yeah, that's pretty much verbatim the same thing. Like the red and blue space are swapped, but it's other than that, it's basically the same thing. Not that bad, right? But even like this area right here, lot different in this version. First of all, the Monty Mole like hill event that like swaps the signs. There is only one of them on this board now. We only have one of them up on this path. You can only change the signs manually through there. The other one used to be down here, but now it's an item shop. But not only is it an item shop, this item shop has more rare items. This is one of the rare item shops so that you can buy a plunder chest at, and a few other items, especially near like the second half of the game. So it might be worth getting some rare items going down that way instead now. Because like in the original game, like going down this path is very long. Oops. It's very long, this path. It's a lot shorter in the new one. And the only real reason to go down here is if the star spawns down here. Other than that, it doesn't really like, you're not switching the Monty Moles really like often. That's not something that was a pivotal part of playing this board. It didn't help out a lot of the time. And most of the time, if you were going to do it, it was probably because you were landing on the happening space to do it, not using the Monty Hills. So changing it to an item shop instead, and still having a star be able to spawn in the area, no, that's a good change. That is a very decent change. I like that a lot. It gives a lot more, like, gives you a lot more choice into deciding to go in that direction. And again, you still have your main item shop right here. Main item shop's right there, so that's good. And you still have the item shop up at the corner of the map, which is nice. Again, slightly different placements for the shops, just based on like, you know, just like where they place certain spaces, and again, shortening a lot of the main routes and everything. But, and it's not like overly short. Like it's usually only like a couple spaces at a time. And like a couple of them are longer. Like this section right here is like one space longer than it used to be. There are more spaces like here than there used to be. Like there's a lot of just like small changes like that, which are more interesting. But one of the main differences on this board compared to the original, and this works to the board's favor so well, considering that there aren't reverse rooms. One of the things that Mario Party 3 boards really like to do is like if there was a skeleton key gate like these, what would happen is they would have spaces leading into them, but if you didn't have the key for it, you would just bounce right back up instead. Which made for some like fun like movement plays where it's like, oh, if I want to land on this chance time, but I have a 3. It's like, oh, I'll go 2 and then 1. Oh, now I got it, right? Stuff like that, which can be like really fun to like add to your roll or change your roll a little bit, right? But otherwise, like if you actively wanted to like take those routes, other than being like maybe a shortcut to the star, like there's a star space here that spawns going down here. It could get you to here if you're on this path. You want to just get there sooner. Yeah, like that's there, but they're not super valuable gates to have. Like you can have 3 items in Mario Party 3, but having a skeleton key on this board isn't like game breaking. You don't really need it that bad. This board though, a lot better to have it on this board because now the gates are reversed. Now this one is a lot more straightforward, the one at the bottom here. All this one really does is give you access to the right side of the board options on your own whim. Being able to just go and access that without having to worry about like the signs lining up for you. If you want to go that way, you can use the key to go that way. Also, it is where one of few chance sign spaces are. So just to be able to activate that could be a good thing. And plus, because the opening area is a small like spot, if you want to farm this, because you still have tons of item spaces and a lucky space, you can probably get a skeleton key no problem from in here if you don't have one already. And just wait till your roll lines up so that you can land on that. Or wait till you get a custom dice and a skeleton key to land on the chance time. So you have multiple options there. Ooh, look at that. Fancy. That's so pretty. Oh, it looks so cool. Oh, that's lovely. The blend is so nice. Did a really good job on that. Yeah, good job on that. That's beautiful. Good. I'm getting there. I'm almost done. I have one more board after this. So I will ask you not to distract me though, so I can get it done though, because I don't want to be forever on them. All right, I'll see you after. Love you. Her hair's so pretty. Oh my god, it's so pretty. But yeah, so this gate in particular, a lot more minor, but definitely not a bad change. Definitely a lot more useful, especially without the reverse room in this game. That's a nice thing to have for certain. Now the other one, this gate, also lovely. This is so much better for it to be a way to access the top. Because if you aren't here at the right time for Money Mole, you just have no way to access up here. But now, if you have a key, you do. And not only will you avoid the negative bad tree event from going up this path, but Boo is right there. Now you have access to Boo, because that's the only Boo on the board as well. So if you want to access Boo efficiently and like with certainty, always having a skeleton key on you is important. Because hell, if you're going on this side of the map, you're not going to be able to access Boo. It's just, there's no way to get up there. But if you're going to the left side, if you are able to make sure you go to the left side, then no matter which way the thing is facing, you can get there either way, which is great. It's like, that is a lovely thing. That is very lovely. And it doesn't make the bottom path like absolutely obsolete, because it is generally shorter than taking this whole path, and it can get you back, like get you on back to the main path sooner. But Boo's valuable, man. Boo is valuable in this game. So going that way, really good call. Really good call. That small change there really like helps this board have its own flavor. And honestly though, like that's really it for like the major changes on this board, like compared to the original. It's very, very similar to the original board outside of those small little tweaks. But Woody Woods was already a good board. It didn't need a whole lot of tweaks either. There wasn't a whole lot that you were gonna do that was gonna like drastically make it like a perfect board. I think the Monty Mole mechanic is still just like, it's a very big gimmick, and I don't think it swings well for everyone all the time. So I don't think like you could get rid of the Monty pass, but it wouldn't make it Woody Woods anymore, you know? And I don't think I'd want that. I don't think I'd want that to be different. I think for what Woody Woods is trying to do, I think it works extremely well, both in its original incarnation and in this one. I think it's just like a well thought out board, no matter which way you kind of look at it, which is like really rare to see. Like something that it got changed in a way that makes it feel like that slight bit more fresh, a little bit different, with the mechanics that work in its own game, while also not taking away from the original version's like take on the map. It's a really solid board. It's really good. It's definitely better than the other ones so far. And it's just a treat to play on. Really, really solid stuff. I cannot believe this. Like how good this board ended up being. I think it just like misses out a little bit on the randomness factor. Like because Boo is just up there, like it doesn't have like that extra like pow that I usually look for in like that one like really exciting thing that a lot of other boards like Castaway Bay, Waluigi's Island, Spiny Desert have. But you know, it's got just enough of that to like really make your heart sing. And I think that's really cool. I think that's really rad. And finally, we have one last board to discuss. Now, I'm actually going to be kind of I'm going to spoil the ending here. I'm going to be spoiling the ending to this one right now. So if you only came to see like where the board's placed, then this will be your cutoff point. But I suggest like sticking around for the argument. Why? Because here's actually what I'm going to do real quick. This is coming down. It's going to be in the so close tier. Because the remake is fantastic. It's fantastic. What a solid remake of a board. Holy shit. Holy shit, what a solid remake of the board. Like, that's just like... Wow. This saves it. Honestly, it's like... Horrorland being as high as it is in the original game, like, given Mario Party 2's item system, is, like, really, really surprising. Like, Mario Party 2 boards being this high with how that item system works is kind of a miracle. I don't know why you're over here. Why are you all the way up there? That's strange. Get down here with the others. Actually, Pirate's gonna go down here, actually. We're moving Pirate. Pirate Land's going down. That's okay, though. Sorry, I got distracted. Horrorland. Oh my god. Horrorland's new version is actually bonkers. Actually bonkers insane. Again, the quality of the photo, please bear with me. For some reason, there's just not a lot of good photos of, like, the map. And I didn't want to use, like, the in-game map thing to look at it because I wanted to like see the board for its aesthetics and everything, so just bear with me on that. But overall, like, these boards are very, very similar, and like there's not a whole like, sorry, how do I describe this? This is a weird one to discuss for me. This is a weird one to discuss because there's a lot of play here. This was already a complicated board in the original game. This was already complicated. And there's quite a few changes that they've done to this one while still keeping like the main layout like basically the same, which is good news. So let's go over it. Let's just go over it and see what makes this version of the board better than the original and makes it one of the best boards in the series. First off, just right off the bat, again, 3 items. It's honestly, really all this board needed was 3 items. Being able to have 3 items at once puts this board at the top. It's just, yeah, that fixes it. Fixes the problems. It's that straightforward. there's not really anything else to say on that. It's just better to have more options, because now you can actually use items around this board, because it's a big board. In the original game, it's a big board, and if somebody's a douche and has a plunder chest, everyone's moving around a little slowly, and that's a little bummer. Here, don't gotta worry about that no more. Don't gotta worry about that. But then there's just a couple like small quality of life changes as well. Like they changed where certain events are. So, for example, when we're looking at this, there is no more bank right at the beginning. They actually move it up to here in right after a different junction. So you can actually choose not to go to the bank on this board right off the bat. You can choose to go explore different area of the board instead. Interesting choice. It's like nice. It's like kind of nice to see that. It makes the main area loop kind of a little bit more friendly to be in there, especially if you want to access the transportation route on the board. Now, you still have this path up here in the original game. Does not have a bank space normally. It does have a bank space now, so you do have to watch out for it when you're going that way. So there is one, I think that makes it so the original has 1, 2, I think it only has 2 banks. The new one has 3. So money's moving, so money goes through a little bit more, but that's actually kind of a good thing. I like that there's more banks on this board in particular, because you want money to not go out of control on this board. Because again, we still have lots of boost spaces. We have lots of boost spaces still. And they still work pretty much identical to how they did last time. 2 on this path, there's 1 in this path. And obviously we have Big Boo right there, right? So we have a lot of boost spaces still, just spread throughout, right? The only thing I think that's not here now is we don't have a boost space in this path. It's more just a shortcut to get to the... It's a shortcut to get to this part of the map, really. As long as the Womp's not there blocking the path in the daytime. Kind of nice to have that. Pretty neat. Pretty neato. Now, it's nice that all those boosts are still there. And again, because we have 3 items now, you can have 3 items. Having a skeleton key on you to access specific boos is a lot easier to do now. You can definitely manage a strategy of working towards even Big Boo. I've done it. I know I've done it in this game. I've done it multiple times in this game. It is a fun strategy to pull off. Just to have your friends watch you gaining wealth, not really doing a whole lot, and then they realize what you're actually doing, and then they can't stop you because you have movement dice and a skeleton key, and you line up the day cycles perfectly. Oh, it's so gorgeous. You love to see it. And that's not the only things that are added, though. Like, in the original game, like, this path was not, like, very good. Let's be honest. Like, it had chance time. That was about it. Chance time's still here in the original now, but now we also have another item shop over there. So it's like, hey, there we go. That's actually kind of sick to have another one. Also, though, another item shop placed on the right side of the board. So more items can be bought now. No matter which area of the board you go to now, whatever side you go to, you can get items. At the start, on the right, on the left, just not at the top, but that's fine because that's more of a shortcut path anyway, and to also change day to night. Sorry, this is the nighttime. This is nighttime, I realized. Yeah, I don't know why I thought this was daytime. This is nighttime. Nighttime! But this turns day to night. This one turns night to day. Those events still take place. I still find that this event doesn't get used that often. I find that people just don't take this path like directly as much, but that's fine. It's really just a small thing. The rest of the board just like lets you have so much other movement options anyway that it barely matters. You're moving around constantly between like the items that you get, warp blocks, big movement dice, the different paths, the eyeball. It's like, yeah, no, you're moving plenty no matter what. And I think it just like balances everything out like really cleanly. It's really nice to have the balance of this board just be so tight knit. It's very, very cool to see that. And it's a wonderful, wonderful experience. Like, big fan of this overall. And yeah, it's just like the original Mario Party 2 version of Horrorland is a fun board given like what Mario Party 2 is. Mario Party 2 is not one of my favorite Mario Parties just because of the item system is basically ruined by Plunder Chest. And it just feels like, and the boards feel more bloated than Mario Party 1 because of that. So it feels like Mario Party 1, but just with slightly bigger boards sometimes. And that's a little annoying. Some of the boards are still better than Mario Party 1s though. I will not lie. It's like just board design in Mario Party 1 is just not the greatest anyway. But it just goes to show, like, just something as small as like having 3 items, small little tweaks to like where certain things are, adding a couple shops, adding a bank, moving the banks around, right? But keeping that core aesthetic there. Like, this board was designed great back in the day. They knew that. This board did not need a lot of change. And the changes that they did add only help show off its strengths more and more. Yeah, it's just a fantastic board. I'm a big fan of this one. It's so good. And it really goes to show like just how good Mario Party 2 boards can be when they're remade. Like, both Spaceland and Horrorland are phenomenal. And they're not even the best Mario Party 2 remakes out there. But that is for a different day. Because for now, that is where the tier list stands. This is where we are looking at for the Mario Party board tier list. And we only have one more game to go through. We have one more game, and that is the now recently made Mario Party Jamboree. Oh boy, that's going to be a big one. Jamboree has 7 boards. One of the biggest list of boards in the series, right behind Mario Party 1. 5 originals, 2 remakes. It's going to be a big one all on its own. It's going to be a big one to talk about. But it's going to be a really cool one to talk about. Where will they land up compared to every other board in the series so far? I'll be excited to show off what I feel about it. But that'll be next time. So, have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day. I'll be live tomorrow if you're watching this live. I'm going to be live tomorrow with the Roll for Sandwich 3 stream. It's going to be chaotic goodness. It's going to be super funny. It's going to be a wonderful time. I hope you're there for it. And if you enjoyed watching this stream or this video, if you're watching this on YouTube, get ready for the next video. If it's not up already, then for the stream that will be happening. And if the stream's already happened, then go watch the final part. Go see where the board ranking is on this. And yeah, that's going to be it for me today. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I very much appreciate it. This series has been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see where this goes from here. I can't wait to see how this ends. This will be fun. All right. Have yourselves a good one. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.